This is an enormous weekend for Greece and for the rest of Europe, really. Tomorrow, Greek voters go to the polls for the second time in 6 weeks. And if they choose to reject austerity measures insisted upon by other European nations, Greece could be forced to stop using the euro as its currency. The implications could affect us here in America as well. So for the latest, we go to Clarissa Ward, who is in Athens. Clarissa, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Well, that's right. Tomorrow's election is really being seen almost as a referendum on whether or not Greece should stay in the euro. On the one side, you have the leftist party, Syriza. That's led by Alexis Tsipras, who up until recently was virtually unknown, but he's become hugely popular on the back of this platform. No more austerity. We're going to renegotiate that bailout with Europe. On the other side, you have the center-right party. They're saying that that is simply magical thinking and that a vote for Tsipras is the same as a vote to return to Greece's old currency, the drachma, and that withdrawing from the euro would be an absolute disaster. One thing's clear, no matter who wins, it's going to be a long road ahead for Greece's recovery.
Clarissa, we've seen frequent protesting in Athens these past few months. What is it like there now?
I think it's often easy to forget just how desperate the economic situation here is. Just look at tourism, for example. It accounts for nearly 20% of Greece's economy. And yet right now, in peak tourism season, the restaurants are empty. The sites are not crowded. Tourism this year is expected to fall by 15%. Greece's economy has contracted now for 5 years in a row. If it continues to contract next year, that will be a world record.
Clarissa Ward in Athens. Clarissa, thank you.
And joining us now to break down how the Greek election could affect the rest of Europe as well as the United States is Sassan Ghahramani. He is the president and CEO of SGH Macro Advisors. It is a consulting group focused on global finance. Great to have you with us. Good morning, Sassan.
Good morning, Rebecca.
So you're in constant contact with policymakers, both here as well as in Europe. How high did they believe the stakes are this weekend?
The stakes are enormous. This is a historic vote, not just for Greece, but for Europe, the Eurozone, and it's very important for us here in the U.S. as well. Just to give you an example, President Obama has been on the phone with not just the top leaders with Angela Merkel and the leaders of Germany and France, but even with some of the functionaries in Europe, people like Herman Van Rompuy, who is the head of the European Council. That's like, for example, it would be like Merkel calling, Boehner and talking to him. This is how important it is for the U.S. and for the global economy to these Greek elections, and to make sure that Europe has sort of a protection against the potential consequences, negative consequences, and a firewall set up in case things go wrong tomorrow.
And the decision for the Greek people is sort of a catch-22 here. They have one option, which is cut benefits, or the other option, which is the complete unknown.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Greece has been under a tremendous austerity program. The country is broke. They're on life support, essentially. And you have one party that's saying, look, we have to abide by the rules and basically do more of the same. And you have this other party called Syriza, this pretty far left socialist party led by this Alexis Tsipras, who's sort of the Pied Piper, and he's saying, I'm going to take you to the promised land. We're going to tear up the memorandum. We don't have to abide by these rules. And by the way, it's not going to have the consequences that you guys might be afraid of. They're not going to kick us out of the euro, which is what the Germans and everybody have been threatening Greece if they don't play by the rules. So it's a tough choice for Greeks because they want to get out of the austerity. They don't like the way things are, but they're scared of the alternative as well. They don't know whether the Germans are serious, whether the Europeans are serious, and whether they will, in fact, kick them out of the euro if they don't abide by the rules.
How does their choice this weekend impact us here?
Well, I mean, all you have to do is look at the stock market over these last couple of weeks. The Dow has dropped about 10% on European concerns over a couple of weeks. If you look at the market cap, that's about a trillion and change of market cap that we've lost just on jitters. Over the last few days, there were some polls, or rumored polls, because there's no official polling now, that were showing the New Democracy Party, which is the more sort of establishment party, slightly in the lead. And these rumors in and of themselves lifted the stock market about 6–7%. I mean, that's, another $1 trillion. So you have a direct impact on the financial markets. You have impact on more broadly on Europe. What happens in Greece is going to impact Spain. Spain is in bad shape, so you're going to have impact through trade, through growth, through whether Europe stabilizes. And we're not in such great shape here either. So we really can't afford to have more weakness coming out of Europe right now.
Sassan Ghahramani, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rebecca. Nice to be here.
We appreciate it.